Union government has... Is gold still a good investment? That's the question we asked Radhika Gupta, MD and CEO of Edelweiss Mutual Fund, which has just launched a gold and silver fund of funds. The yellow metal has failed to give any returns this year. It has not delivered as a hedge investment despite the Ukraine war and galloping inflation. What should your strategy be? Let's take a look.
Help us understand about the timing of this fund launch. Like you pointed out, that gold has not, the last 10 years have not been the great for gold prices. Right now, if we see about the near term, gold prices are hovering near a month's low. Also, when many believe that inflation is peaking out, do you really believe this is the right time that one must look at investing in gold and silver via mutual funds?
Yeah, so I think there are two parts to the timing question. One, of course, is that, when we launch funds, we do look at the long-term case because timing is very hard to get right. That said, of course, at Edelweiss, we also try to make sure the timing is at least reasonable. No one can get timing right. One thing that is interesting to note is that the performance of gold and silver is sort of negatively correlated to the dollar index. And with all that's going on in the US, the potential recession that you could see in the US economy, with what's happening in the dollar index, this might be a point of turnaround in gold and silver. So historically, when an asset class has not performed and the macros are sort of supportive, it makes for an interesting case for a launch.
Okay. Now, just like how you also pointed out very interestingly that traditionally we've seen gold as an inflation hedge against other uncertainties, but this year, despite these, all of us seeing the war, the high inflation, gold has really not performed that much. What could be the reasons for this? And do you believe, as many critics point out, is gold really losing its value as a hedge against uncertainties?
No, I think gold's status, and over the last few years, people have challenged gold's status as a reserve currency, particularly with things like crypto coming in. I think this year has validated that, that doesn't exist. I think in really sharp equity corrections, I think gold has done well. This year may be an aberration, but I don't think gold's status as an inflation hedge in itself goes away.
Okay. Like you also said that, you believe that a 5-10% of one's core portfolio should go into gold and silver investment. I want to understand this in the context of millennials. Like in today's age, millennials have, beyond stock markets, they have cryptos, they have REITs, InvITs, they have NFTs, they have Web3, even startups and metaverse to look at. So many new investment avenues. Do you believe the traditional gold investment has that much interest? And should it be a part of a millennial core investment portfolio as well?
I get this question a lot, and incidentally, by the way, I am a millennial, even though I don't think I'm a millennial, but I am a late-end millennial. I think your core portfolio should be simple, and I think whether you're a millennial or whether you're a 60-year-old investor, there are what I always call basic dal-chawal components to your portfolio, and those are good quality fixed income, those are good quality equity, and those are a little bit of, gold/silver commodity allocation. I think these are basic core investments that have stood the test of time. 80% of your portfolio genuinely should be this. 20% can be lots of fun stuff. My opinion on crypto I'll reserve for another day, but 20% can be thematic ideas, the capital, all of that if you understand the risk. But I don't believe core investments go out of fashion. Perhaps the appeal to a millennial will take some time. We're also, I think, as a mutual fund industry, I'm also vice chairman of AMFI, we have to keep finding ways to make sure we can make simple products still appeal to a new consumer base. So that's a constant challenge. We're trying to do some interesting marketing with this fund. So let's see how that goes.